Hello YouTube friends. This is what happened when I decided to fit PVC panels instead of tiles into a new shower enclosure. So what we're going to do today is have a go at fitting some clad seal trim around the base of our shower tray so that we can fit the shower wall panels down onto it. Get your mitre box, and if you can't find it, you have to quickly make one yourself out of any spare pieces of timber. Right, so what we're going to do is cut a mitre into that corner, and we are going to trim this end off to suit the thickness or the width of the shower enclosure. This will be the actual side panel at this end. So we're going to measure up the width of the side panel so we know how much to take off here. The ends, I've just notched those about a millimetre and a half in, so that the trims that will trim the plastic sheets, I'm hoping the trim will be able to run past that, the end of this clad seal toilet roll. Give that a bit of a drink. Oh God, yeah. And just quickly wipe along there to make sure it's not contaminated with anything. Next thing we're going to do is fill this trench up with silicone. Now, the silicone we've got here today is something called Dowsil 785. But it's also a lot of good quality, good advertising leaflet. So we're going to fill this thing up all the way on. And the instructions says to do it a bit at a time. So we are doing it at a time. This is what we do. There's a reason why you don't do it all, but we'll go and find out in a second. Right. I'm going to whack a bit more silicone along this edge here. A continuous line. Line of adhesive along the wall. No nails. I'm going to put a line of this along the wall very neatly. This is just to hold the thing in place. You take that. I think I might make a little sweat there. No rehearsals, guys. What you see is what you get. And this apparently just sits on there now. Jeez. So I'm just going to test it with the straight edge to see where I can push it in and where I want to leave it out. Right, what I didn't want to do is push this thing right into all the dips and hollows in the wall. So I'm going to leave that hanging off the wall in places, because I would rather trust a straight edge and that plaster work. And when we come to put our sheets, hopefully the sticky stuff on the back of the sheets will take up any of these hollows. When the sheet is in the trim, it's going to actually finish where I've marked that pencil line. So it's not going to go right into the corner, it's going to finish on the pencil line. So what that means is the width of our trim will be up to there when we're cutting it. Now, because the shower tray is not dead flat along its edges, we're going to have to scribe this sheet to fit the actual profile of the tray. So we know that the sheet is going to come to approximately there when it's inside its corner trim, and so what I've done is put a put some masking tape along the bottom of the sheet. What I'm going to do is place a piece of timber on there like that, and we're actually scribing the profile of this aqua board, whatever they call it, so that we can actually cut this precisely to fit the shape we're working to. Right, so here we are again, we're handling this sheet, and be quite honest guys, first of all the edges of it are lethally sharp, so you ideally want to be wearing gloves, but every time you're handling it you're kind of in danger of marking it, chipping it, or causing some other problem. But that's what it's like doing it for real, not in the studio. And this is the point guys, where if you wear spectacles it's a good idea to take them off and give them a bit of a wipe over with your cleanest rag, because cutting along this line is crucial, because this is the line you're going to see every time you go in the shower, and you're going to be wishing, I think I should have tried a bit harder, instead of saying that'll do, that's near enough. Right, well let's hope it fits, or it's going to be a bit embarrassing. So that's its kind of finished position. Well, it's better. I'm not going to say it's perfect. Yeah, it's true. I took the sheet back out again because I wasn't completely happy with the way it sealed along the bottom. So we just shaved it down a little bit with some sandpaper on a block, just to get it a better fit. Right, when it comes to fitting the corner trim, what we want to do is let the trim run right down onto this plastic shoulder here. So that means we're going to have to remove a couple of sections of this shiny stuff. So mark it up where we're going to cut, and we're going to take these two pieces out and leave this front coving. So let's see if we can saw that out now. Right. Now the foot grip is always good for this. Go nice and slowly. There we are. Right. We just use a handy file to take the sharp corners off this stuff. Let's just try it in position and see what happened. It's all a little bit odd. I don't know if that seems to work. We just try an offcut of sheeting and see how that's going to look. Right, when that's in there, yeah, that's going to work. Right, now just using a little offcut of this sheet, I'm going to test it into the corner piece, the corner trim, and just see how deep it actually goes in, which is not a great deal. So I'm going to mark that And you can see this sheet only inserts by about, what is that, 7 mil, something like that. So we can now mark our big sheet on the wall. We can mark it along here so that when we actually insert it into our corner trim, when it's all ready to be glued onto the wall, we know that this sheet is actually going properly into the corner trim. I've just dry fitted this sheet into its position. Now we come to the point where we have to decide how much we want to overhang by, if at all, but I've already made my mind up on that and I've hacked this piece out. If you wanted to, you could let this sheet run right down to the floor. There's nothing to say your sheet only has to stay inside the shower cubicle. But what I want to do is have my edge trim right on the edge there, and so the enclosure door channel is going to go there in this position here, so that there won't be any white plastic on the outside of the shower enclosure. So this is dry fitted now, so we can actually mark our sheet or where to cut it. So that trim will hopefully finish right on the edge of the tray, about there. So I know that this is where I can make my cut. Obviously I'm going to cut on the inside of that line. Naturally enough, we're going to plumb that up so that when we cut that off, our edge is going to be nice and plumb, because obviously the shower door is going to have to be up nice and straight. By using an offcut of Aqua Seal, we're going to just mark up the shiny stainless steel trim so that we can cut a piece out. So basically we're going to cut this corner out so these two items fit together nicely. I'm going to go nuts now. I've filled this part of the corner trim with silicone, and I'm going to fit the trims to the sheet and then try and glue the whole lot to the wall. So here goes. Now that's the corner trim stuck on, and what we're going to do now is try to put this edge trim on. Done a thin bead of silicone all the way down there, and I'm just going to stick it onto the side of the panel now. There's a couple of schools of thought here. One is that you put your adhesive on the back of the your panel, and another is that you put your adhesive on the actual wall surface. Now, I'm not sure if there's any difference, but what I'm going to do today is just wax some of this adhesive onto the back of our panel. I'm going to put a little bit of silicone around the bottom where the panel goes on the clad seal, and I'm going to run a bit of adhesive, a bit of silicone down the inside of these edges, just to belt and braces the whole lot. But first of all, we're going to coat the whole back of the panel with this adhesive. Now this silicone here is to seal the reverse of the trim that we're not actually going to be using today. So this is to... Right, I'm just running some silicone down this corner, which the other side of the corner trim will stick to. For when we actually... There's a lot of fun in DIY, that's for sure. Oh guys, that is stuck up there. Gonna tidy it up. I don't know if this is easier than doing tiling, is it? Right, well, that's that panel stuck as good as it's going to be stuck. As you can see, there's some deviations in the wall, but you know, I think the actual panel's up straight, so any wobbles in the wall will have to be taken up in some other method. We're going to fit the second panel to the back of the enclosure now, and this is our supply of high pressure water and high pressure electricity. There was a little bit of space in the chase we cut, so I've fixed a piece of timber in there so we've got something to screw our appliance to. Obviously we cut the hole in the panel very carefully. I've already fixed the edge trim on. You can see that there's an overhang there, and that's all for a very clever reason, and that is when we get to this corner here, we want a nice shiny trim to just cover the end of the aqua seal. Now I'm anticipating that getting the panel into this groove might give us a little bit of a problem, so I'm going to fill that with some silicone and hope that eases it into that little groove, which is quite a tight fit. And I'm going to apply some silicone just along the bottom of here, just along the aqua seal. Both sheets are fitted now and the adhesive's all gone off. And guys, as you know, we don't do rehearsals on this channel, and I'm going to have to confess to making a bit of a ricket. When I've tried to force that sheet into that metal channel, I have somehow managed to put a split in that sheet, which is a disaster, and it's a fail in my opinion. But this proves yet again there's more to fitting these sheets than meets the eye. Right guys, while we're just on the subject of tiles versus panels, I'm just going to go through the price list with you here. Aluminium internal corner, £11, well actually £11.99, so 12 quid for that. That's just that one strip. The white end cap trim, they are £8. Now that's the little plastic bits I've used along the top, which are not quite in the shot at the minute. That's £8. The clad seal cladding ceiling trim, that's the stuff that goes on the shower tray, which seals the shower tray to the wall. £12 each, those. The white sparkle panels, which are 1 metre wide and 2.4 tall, they are £44 each. The aluminium end cap trim, that's the shiny bits down each end of the panel, which looks nicer than the white plastic, they're £12 each. So before you know it, what have we got here? £144 to do that little job, and I still bollocksed it up when it came to it. Now, £144, how much tiling could you do for that? I think you'd come out in front using tiles, to be quite honest. So, like I say, I think I've just about cured myself of doing these panels now. I know they come in different forms. Some of them, I think, have hardboard inside them. Some are sort of solid material, MDF or something coated. I don't know. Honestly, I think tiles are the way to go. Okay, like I say, maybe you're a better builder than I am, or a better DIYer, and you'll have a lot more success and you'll have a brilliant job. But these panels, they've got to be totally tailor-made to fit the hole. And unless your walls are dead straight, dead flat, and they actually form a 90-degree corner as well, you know, if it doesn't form that corner, your corner trim is going to, the panels are going to not be fitting completely snug. There's going to be pressure. Anyway guys, if you want to have a go at this, good luck, and I hope you found this interesting, and perhaps you can avoid some of the mistakes I've made this time.